The cruise ship's ball is hidden murder, hiding in the shadows of the murderer who quietly pulled the switch. A sharp wire suddenly appeared, and the people on the dance floor, completely unaware of the death, had come. With the tightening of the winch, the wire crossed at high speed. Like a sharp blade, people on the dance floor, almost in an instant, separated into two halves. Only a little girl in white escaped a disaster. In the blink of an eye, 40 years had passed, and Antonia's whereabouts remained a mystery. One day, a pilot named Jack found Murphy's salvage team. He brought a photo, claiming that he found a huge ship in the White Collar Channel somewhere. Without an owner, there is a good chance there are valuable treasures in it. Knowing that the place was on the high seas, according to the relevant laws, the finder could legally take possession of the unowned ship found on the high seas, and Captain Murphy was immediately impressed. He convinced all the team members to be with the discoverer Jack. 9-1 stratification. Did not expect Jack readily agreed to, just put forward a request to go together. After the unification of ideas, a group of people overnight with heavy rain on the sea arrived near the destination. Helmsman found that the radar shows the figure of the cruise ship lost hidden to achieve. The surrounding area is covered with unknown objects. The captain then asked the crew to open the searchlight, but there was nothing around. At that moment, Antonia suddenly appeared in front of the helmsman and hurriedly put on the reverse gear, but the distance is too close. The violent impact of the ship's people knocked over. After calming down, the team saw the real appearance of the huge ship. Yes, he is the missing 40 years of the Antonia. When this ship disappeared into the sea, countless captains dreamed of finding it, but in the end, all to no avail. Now that he was right in front of us, the group could not suppress their excitement and couldn't wait to board the cruise ship. As Antonia was in disrepair and rusted everywhere, the crew member at the front stepped through the floor, and luckily Julie caught him. But at that moment, she saw a little girl in white standing downstairs, in a blink of an eye, but then disappeared. Several people came together to pull him up. 40 years of seawater erosion, so that the tanker's interior decayed and all the equipment has been scrapped. Such a scene reminds the captain of the ghost ship story. The crew, of course, did not believe such a bizarre thing and could not help but laugh out loud. Now they faced the problem. The small boat cannot tow back such a large tanker. There is only one way, which is to restore its power. The next day, the captain led the repair work. Julie found bullet holes in a bizarre pool and shell casings on the ground. Something terrible had happened here. Julie was ready to inform the team of this discovery, but the ghost of the little girl reappeared. Julie was so scared that she lost her focus and fell heavily. When she came back to his senses, the poolside but empty. The shocked Julie left the pool, and the bullet holes began to flow bright red blood until they filled the entire pool. And on the other side of the captain's room, the captain found a bottle of brandy that looked like it had just been opened. He wants to taste this 40-year-old wine. Suddenly, the mirror appeared in the figure of the captain. This bizarre scene scared him and rushed out of the room. Julie and Jack talked about just saw the little girl in white. Talking, the two unknowingly came to the laundry room. She opened the hatch with force. A large number of highly decomposed bodies washed out by the sea. Strangely enough, these bodies do not look like 40 years ago. Julie rushed to use the intercom to inform everyone to leave this place of right and wrong. But the door they came from was inexplicably locked, while another door was quietly opened. They found several boxes full of gold bricks in this room. A major discovery. Julie informed the rest of the team that she did not expect this broken ship to have a treasure. The crowd cheered with joy, and the captain estimated that these boxes of gold were worth at least $300 million, enough for everyone to enjoy several lifetimes. At the same time, Julie vaguely feels that this batch of gold has problems. It most likely has something to do with the disappearance of the cruise ship and proposes to hand over the gold to the Coast Guard. Of course, others were unwilling to hand over the gold, and the crowd was overwhelmed by money. Just some bizarre discoveries have long been thrown out of the window. The excited helmsman overhauled his equipment and prepared to return with the gold, but did not notice that the propane cylinder on the wall was open automatically. When he felt that something was wrong, it was already too late. The crew member Greer had already pressed the start button. Many hands lost their lives on the spot, and the tugboat was blown into two pieces, slowly sinking into the sea. Now that the tugboat is gone, they lost contact with the outside world. Want to leave, and will have to repair the cruise ship. The two crew members are bold, and they found some canned food in the missing 40 years of the cruise ship. So they do something really stupid. Munder tasted a bite and found that the taste of canned food was not bad. So the two began to eat hard. Suddenly, Maud saw something squirming in Dodge's mouth. Now they realized that what they just ate in one big bite was a disgusting maggot. At the same time, the drunken Greer, dazed and confused, came to the hall. He suddenly found everything around him. Justice was restored in a very fast way. In an instant, he went back to that night 40 years ago. The red-clad singer appeared in front of Greer, and the bewitched Greer followed closely behind the singer, step by step towards death, the result of losing his footing and falling down the elevator shaft. He died. The captain felt guilty about the helmsman's death, and he went to the captain's room and picked up the suspicious bottle of brandy, intending to drink his sorrows away. Half asleep, the captain of Antonia appeared in front of him. He told the captain that 40 years ago they were on a ship named Lorelei, from which the boxes of gold originated, and that there was only one survivor. The captain saw this person's photo, instantly shocked. On the other hand, Julie came to a guest room, where the room was full of dolls and ladies' clothing. She opened the closet, and there was a corpse hanging inside. At that moment, the spirit of the little girl appeared behind Julie. The girl told Julie that everyone on the boat was dead. Most of the souls have returned to their homeland, leaving only their marked souls still trapped in the ship. Before the girl could finish her sentence, she was taken away by a mysterious supernatural force. Knowing the truth, the captain tried to inform the team to leave, but he came halfway to see the dead helmsman, who came to claim his life. Hearing the sound of Julie rushed over. At this time the captain seems to have been cursed in general, feverishly attacked Julie, but luckily the timely arrival of Jack will knock him out. To prevent the captain from going crazy again, he was locked in a water tank to calm him down a little. The rest of the group opened a self-help plan, working together to repair holes in the bottom of the ship, start pumps to pump seawater out of the hull, and repair the rudder to control the direction. Late at night, Julie met the ghost girl again, to let her see what had happened 40 years ago. The girl touched Julie. For a moment, the scene was like a movie showing 40 years ago. When the gold was brought on board the Antonia, a group of robbers started to kill in order to get this huge wealth. They killed the chef, poisoned the food, and then used steel locks to cut off the crowd on the deck, and the rest of the people were not spared and were taken to the pool and shot en masse. Even the little girl was not spared and was hung in the closet. For the sake of money, all people have become demons. Greed has blinded their eyes. Tempted by the singer, this man killed all his accomplices, not realizing that he had just turned around and was also killed by a shot. At that moment, a man appeared in the darkness. He is the mastermind behind all this. After hugging and kissing the songstress, he used the preset organ to solve the songstress and marked her hand. Julie was overwhelmed when she saw the face of this mystery man, and he was Jack. All this is his plan, to trick them into the ship to kill all of them. Julie realized that the captain was in danger, but it was too late. The captain had already drowned alive. The photo he was holding was Jack. And meanwhile, the tragedy was still unfolding. In the water to repair, Munder was strangled by the gears. When Julie arrived, only Munder's mutilated body could be seen. The matter has been removed from the disguise of Jack, revealing the true face. His eyes fell fierce, step by step, to Dodge's approach. As a result, he was shot by Dodge. Of course, Jack would not be so easily killed. Julie realized that as long as the ship still has the existence of gold, there will be more people dying from death. So, he installed the bomb in the cabin, intending to let this collection of cursed gold, followed by the entire ship, sinks to the bottom of the sea. Just then, Dodge arrives to stop Julie, completely unconcerned about whether Munder is still alive. Julie saw right away that the man in front of her was not Dodge. After the disguise was detected, Jack turned back to his original form. He is a soul reaper. He used gold to tempt those greedy people, and all evil souls will be marked. When he collected 1,000 souls, he was reborn. While Julie was distracted, Jack suddenly knocked Julie into the water. Julie picked up the fish fork gun in the water, and instead of aiming at Jack, he aimed at the detonator switch. With a loud bang, the tanker Antonia was blown up. Jack also in the violent explosion in the ashes, and Julie is still trapped in the boat. At the critical moment, the girl in white reappeared to guide the direction of her escape. Countless souls on the surface of the sea around the slowly sinking Antonia. Into the sky is a bit of starlight, flying up into the sky to obtain relief. After an unknown period, Julie was rescued by a passing cruise ship. In the ambulance, he saw the heavy boxes of gold being carried on a new cruise ship. Julie sees the man walking at the end and screams in terror, which means a new tragedy will be replay. The ghost ship can be blown up and sunk, but the greed and lust in the human heart cannot be eliminated. If you had found the gold, What choice would you have made?